Day. Now we have toxin development. What are the stages that we go through? So we call toxins ama in Ayurveda, and we have 5 ways that it comes up. So if we take a chalice, I like a chalice because it's a bit regal, and we can all be reminded of our nobility at times. Why not? It's a good place to come from. So the collection of toxins, that can be anything and everything, from an individual's imbalances that they're possibly born with, or diet and lifestyle choices, environmental toxins. There's a whole bunch. And over time and distance, these things build up. And unless we deal with it, we are suffering from them. And the only unfortunate thing is most people don't realize that they're suffering from it on a daily basis until there's a big neon sign, just because they're not as connected with their body as they could be. So at the collection stage, like for instance, we'll take my example. Before I woke up and discovered Ayurveda, I was an emotional retard. Yeah, big call on it, but retard means slow. I was emotionally slow. And the signs for me were my liver and gallbladder were, I was angry. I was an angry bastard. I was angry at the world, angry at myself. Like lots of guys. And what was I doing? I was overfilling my gallbladder, because the gallbladder is the one that stores toxins, waiting for the liver to process it. So in my diet and lifestyle and food choices, there was alcohol, and I was doing lots of exercise, lots of outdoor running, trail running, ultra marathons, 100 kilometers, long distance kayak races and mountain bikes and all these things. So my subconscious body really wanted to get this stuff out, and I did it in the only way I knew how, was lots of hard work, and to a large degree it worked. But at some point there was an overflow. So many times there's signs for that. Whenever I got angry, or if I had turned to alcohol to try to, deal with that liver and gallbladder toxicity. And let's just say it wasn't the best way to do it. And then once I started, balancing my body and cleaning out my liver and gallbladder, then we really got rid of all this, and it become much easier to become an empty vessel. And there's a lot of psycho-spiritual philosophies that will say you want to be an empty cup, so you can present yourself to your friends, family, and the wider universe and community, and in your relationships, to be absolutely present without the subconscious in the body, emotional imbalances from the organs. And it takes a little bit of work, but the benefits are massive. Because being present is the greatest gift that you can give to yourself, friends, family, relationships, and the universe. So once there's an overflow, there's a lot of signs. Usually emotional imbalances are really good. There's signs. I would get angry at someone for what I would have considered being stupid. We don't really use those terms much now. That was just my perception, because they didn't quite understand what I wanted and demanded. So not exactly coming from a heart-driven place. And that's why you see that a lot in society. And once it's overflowed, then that organ, say the liver, I've got too much to deal with, I've got too much on my plate, let's move it somewhere else. So hopefully they get a sign and they figure it out. And it will relocate itself. Usually the liver is attached to the eyes quite often, so there'll be eye problems. And that, in a wider sense, will also relate to a person coming from the ego, and their perception is looking through that organ which is toxic. So they will have a toxic perception of the world, like I used to do. Now, much, much better. And then it will manifest itself. So the manifesting can be eye problems, glaucoma, any of the cataracts, and that builds up over time. And of course the real location was in the organ. Always is, always has been, always will be. And the thing is that in Western culture and Western health, most people get caught up on the manifests. That's the location of the symptom, not the cause. The cause is lying elsewhere. And with the 5-element theory and the sense organs, we'll go to that in a coming video, it really tells you where it is. So, for instance, I've got a number of friends and clients who are, you know, spiritual teachers, and they think they're really connected and they do some beautiful things for themselves and the world, and they've got nose and sinus problems. Yep. And of course, when you think about it, there's not really much there that generates energy or that can accumulate toxins. You know, it's important, but not as important as down here. So when we look at the sense organ attached to the nose is the anus. So, and you can see it very simply. It's like, okay, well, that person who thinks they're spiritually enlightened, they're ungrounded. Why are they ungrounded? Well, they've got some toxins in their colon. Easy, right? Now, of course, they're drawn up here, but their mind and, you know, whatever else is involved in a toxic mindset is really getting in the way of the body receiving the message they need to get and then work on that particular area. So, Western world is caught up here quite a lot. And again, it's like if you're mopping up a floodwater with a mop and bucket, it's going to be hard work. It's not going to achieve much. You may think that you're busy and you're retrieving things and helping yourself, and to a small degree you are, but the cause is the damn wall. It's open. How about we close it and flush it out using the tissue fluid gut remedy? So many solutions for these things, but that's why the beauty of Ayurveda, having these philosophies, tells us, hang on, if we've had toxic collection in a certain organ or area, it's overfull, overflowed, relocated somewhere else, manifested to go, hey, look at me. But getting to the causes is really gonna improve and remove imbalances, get that energy flow up, get our vitality pumping, because that's what we need for our spiritual development, and to it constantly and regularly being achieving next level, because it's always next level.